Okay. So what are the instructions? Say for example, if I take, so let me write say program. So suppose if I write section dot data and if I write td 4.9. Okay, and then section dot text global main move ex comma the word of a. Okay, move ebx comma 3.4. Suppose we try to write such kind of instruction. Let us see what happens there. So nasm dash plf 32 flt.asm dash g to show you like what happens in the debugging mode. So you will see that there is an error for line number 7. So if I go and check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is giving me error here. Correct. That means what I cannot use float immediate value for my register. Correct. I cannot use this because I can see that there's an error, expression syntax error. Now if I remove that, suppose if I remove this, again if I simply write this, then let us see what happens there at that end. So we got our code translated in object code. Then gcc dash m32 flt.o dash g dash mdwarf, and then when we execute this, so let us say breakpoint main display $ex. Okay, run. Now you can see that this is the statement that we had, and as per the code, we had added this 4.9. Now let us see what it shows there with ex. Now what it is showing us, ex equal to some value, correct? Which probably is not the thing that we expected. So what happens is like the registers that we had, like starting with EAX, EBX, ECX, EDX, ESI, okay, then EDI, ESP, EBP. These are said as GPRs, general purpose registers. Now earlier when the development of processors started, no floating point support was there till like initial version of 8086. Then what they came up with? They came up with something called as co-numeric processor, which was like given a number like 8087 co-numeric processor. Now your processor has it inbuilt, okay, the floating point support. Now how exactly it works? So let us how exactly it works. So we have different registers. So float point stack is used, which is numbered as ST0 to ST7. These are 80-bit registers. Correct? 80 to ST0 to ST7. Now these registers are used as a stack. Okay, that's why we are saying floating point stack. Okay, so whenever you use any floating point instruction, it starts operating from ST0. Okay, and then goes on till ST7. Fine. So let us try to see this. So let me save this to less. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll keep this in memory. Okay, and we'll go here and we'll write first code. Right, so that we will add elements there. So for example, Emacs, we'll take the same line float FLOAT underscore 01.asm. Now what is to be done is you have to like your instructions, what are the instructions that you used earlier? Also, they would not be useful. Correct. Even while you are declaring the data. Now this A, when you declare that A DD 4.9, okay, this will reserve how many bytes? 4 bytes, correct? 4 bytes, and this 4.9 would be fitted there in some form. Now, if I want to really declare the float, then float requires 8 bytes. So I will write here 4.6, say for example. Now this will DQ takes what? Quad. Define quad. So 8 bytes. 8 bytes means what? Actually, 8 byte means what? Can somebody tell how many bytes would be there? How many bytes would be there? How many bytes would be there? If 8 byte are to be supposed, how many bits would be there? So it would be 64 bit, correct? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now you have the floating point registers as 80 bit. That means we definitely will require then that mantissa part and so on, correct? Exponent part, mantissa part needs to be preserved. So in your computer organization course, probably you must have seen or learned how exactly the floating point format is. So maybe if you haven't, you can search on IEEE format for floating point registers. So we have to use now different set of instructions. So let me write the code. Global main. So we will write here FLD. Okay, so I will write here keyword of A. If I write FLD keyword, now we used to write B word, D word, correct? Now it would be keyword quad word because we have to upload this. So let us see like what happens with this. Okay. So let us say NASM dash APLF32 float dash G dash F dwarf GCC dash M32 dash G dash F dwarf float 01.o. Let us debug. So let us display ST0, ST1, ST2, ST3 for a while. Okay, we will display all so that you can see what happens there. 5, 6, and 7. So if you try to write ST8, then it is treated as a variable, correct? So that's why like this is not important, but I only wanted to show you like ST0 to ST7 are the registers. Fine. So let us not concentrate on that ST8, only to show you like only 0 to 7 are there. Fine. Let us set breakpoint main run. Now concentrate on ST0, ST1, ST2, ST3, ST4. So let me display these registers too for a while to show you. Like I will take only these 4. Fine. So you say run. Now these are the initial values. If I write FLD keyword of A, what was my first value? It was 4.9. So if I write L1, it was 4.9, correct? So you can see like when I started executing FLD keyword of A, I can see that 1.9 is added there and see how big number is stored there. Is that fine? Now you will see the first number that I wrote was DD, correct? DD. And let us see when I write DQ, what happens. So this is treated as an quad word. So if I write here D word, then what happens? We will see that. Okay. Now if I write NI, now you can see the first value was stored earlier. 1.9 was stored earlier with ST0. Now when you load again, FLD is float load in the float register, these values. So it is operated as a stack. Fine. Okay, so can you see that now second value was 4.6 and 4.6 was added there in ST0, which is written as 4.599 and so on. Is that fine? Durga?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let us make the change in the code and let us write here D word and let us see what happens. breakpoint main. Now we know that only two registers are to be displayed. So display $st0. We'll take only st0 and sorry. Sorry, I should have written this st0 st1. So breakpoint main run. Now we are writing d word of a. Now see what happens. So earlier, if you recall, it took what? Actually, what is the value of a? It is 4.9. Correct? Now see how exactly the value is stored there, st0, 4.9. Earlier it was not the same. Correct? Are you with me? So if earlier it was shown with exponential value, exponent value, like you can see this. It was shown like this because we wrote keyword. Actually, it was not 1.9. What was the value? The value was in our code 4.9. But as we wrote their keyword and define it with DD, that's why it was storing it in that form. Right? Because this number got changed, like you are trying to fit 8-bit value into 8 byte value to a 4-byte value. That was the reason. So always, like whenever you are referring, whenever you are writing DD, then you write D word. Whenever you are writing DQ, then you have to write Q word. Correct? Okay, so let us see next. Now you got the exact values which were not earlier. Correct? Because we had 4.9 and 4.6, but earlier code it was showing 4.5 and 1.9, which was not the value that was expected to be shown. Correct? Okay, so let me quit. Now let me make it as Q and Q. SM GCC GDB. So let us display the values again. Display $st0 st1 breakpoint main run. Now you will see the value added there. Okay, so earlier if you see what was the value shown, 4.9000062. Now see this remaining part, it is different. Correct? It varies because we are only talking about at 4.9. So if I write ni, then you will get this. Then you may say, like when I write 4.5 plus 4.9, what happens with it? Correct? So let us see. Sorry. Now how should I add this? So can I write here add st0 comma st1? So let us see. So it says invalid combination because st0 st1 are not recognized by your regular instructions like add, move. They cannot understand. That's why we are writing that FLD. Correct? So let us make the change. So if I simply write here fadd, correct? Now let us see what happens. Now our code got translated. GCC. Every instruction will be having now F as a prefix for float. So breakpoint main display $st0 st1 run. First value, second value, add both of them. So you are getting now exact one. Correct. So your code was 4.9 plus 4.6. So 9 plus 6, 15 and 4 plus 4 plus 1. So that's true. Correct. So even if it is showing you like this, but at the time of addition, it is going to do this. Correct. So similarly, if I want, like if you may see the result was stored in st0. Correct. If I want to store it with st1, then what I will do in this case? You may say I will add it here like this. Correct. I will change the order. Fine. Let us see. NASM, GCC, GDB, display $st0, st1, breakpoint main, run. NI. Now sum is stored with st1, correct? And st0 value was kept as it is. So that is possible. But now what we did was we changed order of registers, correct? Order of register. Can I load it directly st2? Okay, so I cannot directly access these registers in FLD kind of instruction or a load kind of instruction. I cannot directly access this. Say, load this value. Like when we say FLD, it will always store this value with st0 only. Okay, whenever you are using this FLD thing. Fine. Whenever you are using this FLD instruction, it will always load into st0. Now when again next FLD comes, then st0 would be shifted to st1, and now st0 will have the new value, and that's what it did, because you see here it was 0 0, then first value was loaded FLD keyword A, then 4.9 was added with st0. Then next again we had FLD, so this was shifted to 4.9. So how many times I can write that? So let us see. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fine. That's some. Now I have replicated that instructions, those instructions. Now GDB breakpoint main display $st0, st1, st2, st3, st4, st5, st6, and st7. So let us run. Now all of them are 0. So first FLD 4.9. Now try to see, like it may confuse. So okay, let us define different values there. Okay, so so this is again 8 byte now. Fine. A1, B1. A2, B2. A3, B3. So you will see now we have 8 variables, correct? So let us write this. So FLD AB, A1, B1, A2, B2, A3, B3. So let me change these values as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, so that you will be able to know now how the changes are happening. So we have declared 8, well, 8 what you can call it as variables, so which we are storing into the respective what you can call it as float register. Fine. So let us assemble. Okay, so we got error at line number 15. What was line number 15? Oh, sorry, I missed this. NASM, GCC, and then GDB. So display $st0, st1, st2, st3, st4, st5, st6, st7. Correct. Now breakpoint main run. Now see the values. So remember, like we had values given like this 1.9, 2.6, 3.9, 4.6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct, for 8 respectively. Now first value is loaded. So it was 1.8. That was 1.9. That's 1.89. So which is rounded there. So NI. You can see everything is getting shifted. Is that fine? So all values now last FLD, whatever the value is, would be with ST0. Now when I write FAD ST1, ST0, now which values would be added? What are the current values of ST0, ST1? 8.6 and 7.9. So they are added, and then you can see ST1 would be containing some of it. Are you with me? See this code one more time. This is your code. Is that okay? Any question, query? Yes, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Any query, question?
Sir.
Mayuri? Understood? Mayuri, are you there? Mansi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us see few more instructions now. Now you might have seen like what I did was like when I wanted sum of ST0 and ST1. Okay, and I want that to be saved here with ST1. So its meaning is what? So if I write its meaning, it is what ST1 equal to ST1 plus ST0. And if you write FAD ST0, comma ST1, meaning would be ST0 equal to ST0 plus ST1. Fine. Now, if I don't want, like I want this kind of operation, to be done with this only. So you write adder. Okay, let us see what happens. I added simply. So what it said, it is giving you error. Correct. FAD reverse. So addition doesn't matter, like whether you are adding ST0, ST1 or ST1, ST0. It is not going to make the change. But whenever I write, say for example, it was the error. Whenever I write subtraction, 22 minus 10, 10 minus 22, is the result different? 22 minus 10, 10 minus 22. Are these results different? Yes, correct. But for addition, there is no change. So that's why let us try to use now these other instructions. Okay, so I will show that R part, what exactly it is. So this is add. Now let me write f sub st0, comma st1. Now you may say, can I use here st6, comma st7? Okay, so you can use them anyway. So let us assemble. So what it said, line number 24. Line number 24, which is that this st6, comma st7. So is it permitting us to do so? But if I write here st0, comma st1. Now that means what? You can definitely use the registers, but there would be control. So if I write down here st1, comma st2, again error. So it is absolutely necessary to make use of st0. So if I write here st0, then what happens? It is accepted. So in one of the place as an arguments you or as an parameters for that instruction. Okay, it is absolutely necessary to have st0. So if I write here st2 comma st2 comma st0. Let us see. So it accepts. So it is absolutely necessary to have st0 there. st0 plays an important role. Fine. Now let me. I hope you are with me. So let me write here st0 comma st1. Fine. Let us see like what happens with the subtraction. NASM GCC GDB display $st0 st1 st2. I will take st2 only. Fine. Breakpoint main run. Now you have 8.6 and 7.9. So if I write ni, you can see the subtraction done. So st0 is bigger value than st1. So result was positive. Correct? Result was positive. So like 0.7. Correct? Now if I want reverse result, reverse I mean to say we had a subtraction as st0 comma st1. So I can write here st1 comma st0. We saw that. But if I want to have reverse result, but result should be stored in st0 only. Okay, so let me write this first. So meaning of it is what? st0 equal to st0 minus st1. Okay, so let me put comment here. So we'll add another instruction there. F sub r. I write st0 comma st1. Now meaning of it would be what? st0 equal to st1 minus st0. Reverse the subtraction. Okay, so let us see this now. Awesome. So you will see there is no error because it was giving us error when we wrote it with the add r. Okay, because addition is what you call as a mathematical property. A plus b equal to b plus a, but a minus b is not equal to b minus a. So what kind of operation plus is?
Commutative.
Very good. Fine. So let us add breakpoint, display st0, st1, and let us take st2 run. Now we know the values. So yeah, we got this. Now 8.5, I mean 8.6 and 7.9. And we want, like earlier we saw st0 result was there, but it was 0.6. Correct? Or 0.7, sorry, 0.6 something, so 0.7. Now when I write this, it is 8.6 and 7.9. Now try to see what is the result. You will see that it is now minus 0.7. The reason behind, like even you can see the result was stored in st0 because of this. So meaning is clear. st0 equal to st1 minus st0. But result would be stored in st0 only. So this, like even when you multiply two registers, what will happen? It is like addition only, correct? A multiplied by B equal to B multiplied by A. But A by B and B by A, are they different? Yes, correct. So div R, okay, F div R and F sub R would be possibly there. Fine. Okay. Now another thing. This is our code. So let me, I hope, okay, let me first send this file to you. Upload from my computer. So this is our first code. Now let me copy this float 01.asm float 02.asm. So the instructions we used are these ones. So we saw FLD loads value in ST0 always. When consecutive FLD occurs, the ST0 value is moved to ST1 and new value is added or is stored or loaded in ST0. Is that fine? So we saw fadd adds float values. Okay, so it requires ST0 equal to ST0 plus ST1. Correct, with ST0 comma ST1. Fine. So f sub ST0 comma ST1 subtracts ST0. So subtraction float subtract. So result is ST0 is equal to ST0 minus ST1. So f sub r ST0 comma ST1, meaning float reverse subtraction. So ST0 equal to ST1 minus ST0. Okay, now suppose we want to store this result. Okay, let us try to store that result. So let us save this. Let us go back. Okay, I will restrict it to this now. Only two values. So I will declare section dot bss, then result rescue now, correct? Reserve code because we want to store. So let us write extern printf. Fine. Then mhg db result is now %f. Correct? Okay. So now we have this. So we will try with all of them. Okay. So I will comment this. I will comment this too. So this is the rest that the code that we have. So we are working with this. So now let me first add this. Okay, add and store this addition to this result. So how exactly you write? So there is an instruction called fst stored keyword of, suppose I write result. Now let us see whether it gives us error. Now our code is float 2. Okay, so gcc -m32 float 2.o -g -mdwarf. So I'm not able to see that. Even if I debug, I would not be having any information rather. So breakpoint main run step. So if I try to display result, it doesn't say anything. Correct. So if I try to display result again, it says you don't know how exactly it is to be displayed. Correct. So how to display this? Now every printf, whenever you pass on a element on a stack for printing the function, okay, because you have to pass the parameters. So what you write there? So if I write here, what should I write here? Okay. Before a while, let me show you this. So we would not be able to see this value rather, but I can say FLD keyword of result to check whether the sum is stored or not. And now this value would be loaded into ST0. So we used ST0, ST1, ST2, ST3. This case GCC GDB display dollar ST0, ST1, ST2. I will take till ST3 for the sake of understanding. First value, second value added. Now result was stored there. Now what was the result? Result was 4.5, correct? Which was with ST1. Fine. Now I'm loading that into ST0. So what we could see here, the 2.0 is stored there because this FST will store not the addition, because addition was stored in ST1, correct? Because of this, what was stored in ST0, ST0 was having 2.6. That's why this 2.6 was replaced. This 4.5, okay, this 4.5 is shifted to ST2. Then ST1 was 2.6. Now new ST0 came into picture. Now instead, suppose if I go back and if I write this, let me add comment here and I remove this comment. NASM GCC GDB display dollar ST0, ST1, ST2, ST3 breakpoint main run. Now see, these are the two values. So now your addition is stored where? With ST0. Now this is stored in the result. Now you are loading value from result to ST0. So we could save the value in a variable 2, which is declared in BSS. How exactly we did that? So this is how you declared first variable. Fine. Then in the code, you wrote this FST keyword of result. So what are the value that is there with ST0 would be stored here. Now suppose you don't want to keep this value intact. I don't want this value. So what should I do then? Correct? What should I do then? So let us see. Like one can see here. Okay, one can see here. So when we wrote this, these were the three values, correct? Now suppose I don't want to keep this value. It should be removed. Only 4.5 and 1.8 should be there. Correct. Now I can see that there are 2 times 4.5 appearing because I wrote 3 times FLD. That is the reason. So 2 FLDs confirmed the loading of 2 values. Okay. Then because of FAD, ST0 got manipulated. Now that ST0 was stored in a result, and when loaded again, ST0 was shifted to ST1, ST1 was shifted to ST2. Correct? That's why ST0 would be having now new value. Suppose if I don't want to keep that value after the value is stored. So what is to be done? So you simply add here FSTP. So first of all, let me write this meaning of this FST. Value from ST0. Sorry, I should write comment here. Sorry, my bad. Value from ST0 is stored in variable result. Okay, so let us remove this. and st0 will remain same. Now, if you don't want this value to be stored in registers, what exactly you are going to write? You write only simply this fstp. P means pop from the stack. Keyword of result. Okay, let us go back. So I'm using fstp, store and pop. After storing, pop the value from the stack. So nasm. Oh, sorry, I made somewhere a mistake. 20 number column. 20 number. Nasm. GCC GDB display $, $st0 st1 st2 breakpoint main run. Correct. If addition was done, now try to see what is the value with st0. Mansi, what is the value with st0? Mansi, are you there? Shubham, what is the value with st0 now?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
4.5.
4.5. Now when I write fstp, see what happens. st1 is shifted to st0 because st0 value was stored in result and also moved from the stack or removed from the stack or popped from the stack. So fst is store, fstp means store and pop from the stacks because you have limited registers, correct? 8 registers. So what happens if your operations go on beyond 8 values? That's why this is the facility provided. Correct? Is that fine? So if I write now
Yes,
ni, now again we got the value because we loaded the value from the result variable. So what is fstp?
Store
What is
and
fstp?
pop.
Yeah, very good. Correct? Understood now? Okay, so let us see few more things. So we have now 2 programs written. So let me add that program too. So fst keyword. So you are going to write variable name here. Huh? Variable. So meaning is what? Store value from st0 to variable. Fine. And fstp keyword of variable results to what? Store value from st0 to variable and pop from the stack. This is fstp. Fine. Okay. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Let me add now that program for you. Next program, float2. So now how to print? Okay, now how to print? Now if I try to push, so we know that every time whenever we use a call to print a function, every push is of 4 bytes, but our value is of 8 bytes. What to do? Okay, so Emacs, sorry, let us first copy float 02.asm float 03.asm Emacs float 03.asm. Now we are using this print. Sorry, we are using this print. Now how to do that? So you let us say you have now addition in st0, correct? You have addition in st0. Right here, subtract esp comma 8. I'm creating a space on the stack and write fstp esp. Push mhg, call printf, add esp comma now 8 plus 4 12, because first was 4, this 8 and this 4. Let us see whether do we get something there. Sorry, it is not. Yeah. So we have to know nasm dash aplf. I will explain that one. Elf 32 float 03 dot asm. So let us first do this. GCC dash m32 float 03 dot o. Now GDB. So can you see that value got printed? Now why this is required? See the code. Less float 03 dot asm. Now whenever a value is to be printed, which is stored here, okay, in the stack, it is of 8 byte, and whenever we push a value in a stack, it comprises only 4. That's why we are creating a space on the stack of 8 byte. Now, whatever the address that ESP is representing, you will write fstp keyword ESP. So pop and store at the address represented by ESP as a keyword. So it will be divided into those like 4 plus 4 bytes, and that's how that printf is working. Are you with me? That's how you print the value from a float operation. Fine. Now let us try to write 2 pi r as a code. Now we saw instructions. So here let me add. For printing a float value, do the following. So first write subtract esp comma 8. Fine. And then you have to write fstp keyword of wherever the register wherever the value is to be uploaded. So it is to be added to ESP. That's why we are creating this fstp. Right? These instructions would be necessary, and then simply your printf function would be followed. Like your printf function would be what? Now the message which you want to print, and then call printf to add ESP. So we used to write 8. Correct. 4 plus message 4 for the variable. So now for variable required 8. So 8 plus 4. So that's why we write 12. So if you have two float values, then 8 plus 8 would be there. Correct? 8 plus 8 would be there. And so 8 plus 8 plus 4 would be the value. So it would be 20. And right now we have this. Okay. So let us go back and let me add this float code 2 for you peoples. How to print. Float. Fine. Now let us write. Let us see few more instructions. So, cp control R cp. So let us take this as 4. So now I am deleting most of these things. Now let me write here. Suppose I want to load a zero value. I will write FLD 0, FLD 1, FLD pi. Okay, so loads 0 to ST0, loads 1 to ST0, loads pi value to ST0. So when it will be always ST0. Now whenever earlier FLD is there and you have another FLD, so earlier FLD would be shifted to ST1. So ST2 will have 0 in that case. Correct? Fine. So NASM dash F ELF 32 float 04 dot ASM dash G dash F dwarf GCC float 04 dot O dash M32 dash G dash F dwarf GDB. So let us display three values. So I will take 1, 2 and 0. Fine. So you can take 3, 2. It's not a problem. So breakpoint main run. Now see FLD is head. So 0 is loaded. FLD1 pi. Correct. Now FLD1 you can see now pi 1 is added. FLD pi 3.14. Okay. Now I hope these are the three instructions. So let me change their order so that one we will see like whether 0 really is added or not. Breakpoint main run. NI. Now you can see that 0 was added, correct? And then FLD pi. Fine. So how many instructions we saw till now? FLD, FST, FSTP, FAdd, FSub. Okay. Now let us see. I will add instructions there only in this code. So fmul, st1. Fine. Let us see what happens. It should give us error if at all we don't. So that means it is going to operate on st0 mainly. So gdb dot slash a dot out breakpoint main display dollar st0. Oh, sorry, st1, st2, st3. st0, st1, st2, st3 breakpoint main run fld1, fldz, fld pi, fmul. So you can see this st0 became this, correct? Okay, so this is fmul. So let us take here FLD pi at the top. Okay, and we will remove this. Sorry. For comment purposes. Okay, and we want now it is to be multiplying with 2 pi, na 2 pi. Or let us take the r here. Suppose a is your r, correct? So FLD keyword of r, and then we are multiplying it. So let us say it is 2 multiplied by this 2.0. NASM GCC GDB display dollar ST0 1 2 3 breakpoint main run FLD py. So we saw and we are loading this. So now they need to be multiplied. So it should be something 6.28, something like this. Can you see FML? This. So it would not be like you. This will not require two parameters. It will always work on. It will always work on ST0. Fine. Okay. So now we want 2 pi r. So now we want 2 pi r. Now in this case, this 2 is what? A decimal number. So we want that number to be loaded. So let us declare here. So 2 dd2. Okay. So this is ST0. It is pi r is done. So you write FLD. Correct. If I write here d word of 2, we already saw what would be the problem. And now we want to load this as an integer. So simply write here FILD, load as integer field. Okay. And then you write fmul st1. Right. This would be 2 pi r. Let us check. NASM GCC GDB. So breakpoint main display dollar st0 st1 st2 st3 run pi 2. This is multiplication and this is 6.28 multiplied by 2. So something would be like 56 would be there. Na? 28 multiplied by 2, 56 and then some 6 multiplied by 2. So let us see what happens. First of all, it is load. So what happens with ST0? Let us see. You will see now it took integer. FILD, load an integer. Now, if you don't write this I, then it would be different thing, something different, and we don't want that. Earlier we saw when we started, we wrote d word there, correct? When we saw it was 4.5, but it was taking 1.9. Right? As 4.9, it was taking 1.9. That's why we are using the instruction this one. Now this would be 2 pi r. You can see 12.56. Now you want multiplication as 2 pi r square, correct? So Emacs. Now you took r FLD fmul st0. It would be r square, or you can write here keyword of r. So this would be r square. NASM GCC GDB breakpoint main display dollar st0 st1 st2. Let us take only this. Okay. Let us take 3 to breakpoint main dala. Okay, run. Pi loaded. Now it is r square. Ni. It is 4. Correct. Ni. Now this. Now fmul st1. So it is 2 pi r झालं आता 2 pi r square. Fine. So this we got as 2 pi r square. Is that fine? So what was the code? See this code one more time. FLD pi, then FLD keyword r, then we multiplied it again with fmul keyword r, so it would be like multiplied again. So like we saw 2 there directly displayed as a digit. So if you write 2.1 here, if your radius is say 2.1, 1. Then you can see the value is displayed in float only. GDB dot class dot out display dollar st0 st1 st2 st3 breakpoint main run pi. Now you can see 2.10 4.4 correct. 2.1 mirror 2.1. This is how it is 2 pi r square. Is that fine? So try these instructions on your own and see whether if you face any difficulty in working with this all,